Hello everyone, it is Briximus Prime back for another video, and today we're going to be reviewing the Transformers Beast Wars Hasbro PulseCon exclusive Covert Agent Ravage. And yeah, this is a little 2-pack here that was exclusive for Hasbro PulseCon, and it's still available right now on Hasbro Pulse if anyone is interested in getting it. And yeah, I'm just a really huge Beast Wars fan, and I really wanted to pick one of these up. So anyway, let's just get right on into the review by starting with that nice looking packaging. And now with Ravages out of the way, we got this very unique looking packaging. It's very unique because it's unique only to this particular figure. This has not been seen on any other Transformers product. It's got the Predacon logo right there. It says Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy. Here on the inside, there's a cardboard insert. We'll take a look at that in a second. It says Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy, Covert Agent Ravage, 8+ Hasbro, Transformers Generations, Tommy. Here on the side, we got a nice image of Ravage. There's Predacon logo. Here on the back, you got a nice image there of Ravage on the back as well, transforming into the cassette, inspired by Beast Wars. And, you know, you get it. And then here on the bottom, authentic Transformers! And then here on the side of the box, authentic Transformers! These twice as authentic, because there's 2 of them. And then right here, it's got a nice bio here, just kind of recapping the entire reason of why this character exists and why Ravage looks like this. So if you're interested, you can pause it and read that right now. So anyway, that is basically it for the packaging. And here is that cardboard backdrop included inside of the box. It is meant to look like the ship that Ravage had arrived in Beast Wars, that one Trans-Tech, whatever it's called, the ship that he used to get to Earth in Beast Wars. But anyway, it does have a little cardboard cutout thingy here, so you can slide in the little cassette, so it looks like he's sliding himself into the computer. And obviously you can have him in either his beast mode or his robot mode, and you can display him just right in there in his little cardboard display. So anyway, that's a nice little piece of that right there, but I'm probably just gonna end up keeping it in the box just so it doesn't get damaged. But anyway, that is basically it for that. And here is the accessories that come with both Ravages. G1 Ravage comes with his classic chromed out hip blasters here, and as you can see, they are just done in that same amount of shiny chrome right there, so that is very nice. You get 2 of those. And then the Covert Agent Ravage comes with these 2 pistols, which he did use in the show. I like how they look like, they kind of remind me of Reaper's shotguns from Overwatch, but they are compatible with blast effects and all that stuff, even though they don't look like it at the front. But yeah, very nice accessories. As for storage, for these at least, here on Ravage, this also counts for robot mode. There's these little holes right here on the hips. There's little tabs on each gun, and you just kind of peg them in on his hips. And you can also store them right there, just like that, in his robot mode as well, because then it looks like he's storing his guns on his hips, just like he did in the show. And now, starting off the review with G1 Ravage here. This is just a G1 reissue of the exact Ravage from G1, but one interesting little difference between this and the figure from G1 is all this little detail here, and it says Japan, 60MC, all this, like, detailed. You know, on the original G1 toy, this was all stickers, where on this figure, this particular G1 Ravage, this is all tampoed on, so this is all printed on detail. There are no peeling stickers whatsoever on this little cassette. And also, being a G1 reissue, he does feature some die-cast metal here on his hips right here, at the bottom of the cassette, which become the hips. And so it allows the cassette to sit nice and firmly on the ground without it falling over, so that is very nice. So yeah, nice little details here. Got the Decepticon logo right there. Nice little cassette details, and it says Japan on that side, like I said before. So, very nice looking cassette. So anyway, getting into this guy's transformation. I'm not going to compare him with it. Actually, hang on. Just for fun, just for comparisons here he is. Here he is with the G1 reissue of Soundwave in his tape deck mode. And taking Buzzsaw out of there. I guess you can also compare the Buzzsaw to him. But you can still insert this little G1 cassette into the Soundwave, and yeah, so that's a nice look there. So anyway, just wanted to kind of show that off really fast. Anyway, getting into G1 Ravages Transformation. First off, you want to rotate out this little tail right here, rotate out the head, and then just fold out these legs and hips, and then you got those little feet. This guy is kind of hard to position the legs right so he can stand up correctly. I understand that is always an issue with G1 Ravage, but as you can see, there is that. And then you can just take those little hip guns as shown before, and you plug them in on the little cassette parts, little cassette holes. And ba-bam, there you got G1 reissued Ravage, all transformed in his beast mode. And he looks pretty good. He looks exactly like his G1 counterpart. Looking at his head here, he is... Man, someone get this cat a sandwich. He's got nice detail there on the head sculpt. Got silver there in the eyes. And again, all that Tampo stuff is there. And the die-cast metal in his hips and his legs allows him to stand pretty firmly, though he does have quite the balancing issues. And he's got his little tail right there. So yeah, pretty G1 accurate toy of Ravage, because it is just a reissue. So anyway, kind of cool to get a new G1 reissue to add to my G1 collection. And now getting into Covert Agent Ravage. Here he is in his, what Hasbro calls his beast mode. Oh my goodness, this thing does not look. Anyway, I don't like it. Just straight up, I don't like it. But getting into some of those details, he does have that head sculpt here, which is just his robot mode head. It just looks like a Jaguar, so nothing much here. And then here on the side, he still retains that same fur detail like on Cheetor. This guy is a retool of the Kingdom Cheetor. He reuses these bits right here from the Cheetor. All the legs are reused, not the hips though, but all the cheetah legs are reused. The tail, all this crotch section is entirely retooled, so the tail does not come off like the original. It actually has a hinge joint right here. And then obviously this is retooled right there, but we'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, getting into the articulation, the head can look from side to side. It can look up and down a little bit. He does have an opening jaw that can open up quite a bit. It's got some nice painted details in there. The arms can rotate a full 360. They can hinge up very far. They don't really hinge to the side. His legs can bend forward and back. A little ball jointed paw, which can rotate and hinge up and down and pivot. And then these hips right here can shift. These legs can move forward and back. This little bit can hinge right there. These also can move out to the side. Ball jointed paw again. Hinge joint at the tail. And yeah, so pretty basic articulation here on Covert Agent Ravage. Now getting into his comparisons. Here is Covert Agent Ravage next to G1 reissue Soundwave and G1 reissue Ravage. Just to kind of show off that right there. I just thought that was a fun little comparison. Here is Ravage next to the Kingdom Cheetor, which he is retooled from, and you can kind of tell and you can kind of see where the retooled parts came from, but anyway, that is basically it for that. And now getting into Ravage's transformation, which is actually quite simple. Agent Ravage fully transformed into his very Beast Wars screen accurate robot mode. And of course, you can also bring in his pistols as well, but we'll get to those in a second. But he looks really good. I do like this robot mode. This is the main reason that I bought the figure, was for this particular robot mode. So anyway, let's just get right on into those up-close details. Taking a look at Ravage's head sculpt here, it looks very Jaguar-esque, which is how his face looked inside the Beast Wars cartoon itself. I'm trying to see if I can get this to focus anymore. There we go. And he's got those nice piercing red eyes, and you can still use that hinge-jointed mouth, which does give him, we'll get to the articulation in a second, but it does make him a whole lot more expressive in the molding on his face. Coming down to the shoulder, he's got the red Predacon logo on his shoulder there. He's got the nice molded, retooled chest here, which looks great. I don't know why my camera keeps unfocusing. Nice mechanical detail, nice bronze paint. Got some nice red paint right there on the belt buckle. Then got some nice fur detail going across here, giving him that slight realistic look. Got some nice silver and bronze there on the hips, nice retooled legs. And then these shins and feet are exactly the same as Cheetor. What's not the same as Cheetor, though, is this back kibble. I feel like the back kibble on this guy suffers more on this guy than Cheetor, because these legs do kind of get in the way of stuff, and I wish there was a way that they could fold in more just to get out of the way. The tail doesn't really bug me that much, because the tail actually can act as the third leg when you're posing him around so he doesn't fall over, but these legs do kind of get in the way. But anyway, getting into his articulation here. The head is on a little ball joint swivel, but it can only look from side to side. There is no up. He can look up and down like that much. The shoulders can rotate a full 360. They can hinge up all the way and down. Very tight bicep swivel that I kind of want to be careful with. Double jointed elbows. Wrist rotation. Waist rotation, which doesn't play into the transformation, so it's nice that they actually put that in. Hips can move forward. They can't really move back that far due to the retooled part with the tail. Hips move outward that far. He does get a swivel above the knee. Knee bends slightly under 90 degrees. Ankles move up, they move down, and he does get some nice ankle pivot. And he does still have those siege ports on the bottom of the feet, and he does have them ever so, like once or twice here on the figure, so they do appear every now and then. You can also give Ravage his pistols, or as I mentioned before, you can also just peg them onto his hips, which is also a very nice look as well. So anyway, that is basically it for that. Here is Ravage with Kingdom Cheetor, and as you can see, it did make him ever so slightly taller. The retooling made him just ever so slightly taller, but honestly, he's the exact same figure and the exact same size, but he is far more superior than this Cheetor. And then here he is with the War for Cybertron Voyager sound wave from Siege, and also he does have the Siege Ravage right there as well, so you can also see just how big that is, or how little that is in comparison to him. So anyway, that is it for that. Here he is with G1 Soundwave and G1 Ravage. That is basically it for my review on the Transformers. The Transformers Generations Hasbro PulseCon exclusive Covert Agent Ravage. And yeah, this 2-pack is actually pretty good for you G1 lovers out there. The tampoed on G1, detail and everything on the G1 reissue is such a treat to have, because there's no peeling off stickers. But the main event and the meat of this set is really on the Covert Agent Ravage, who is a very nice figure. I really do like the guy. He's a far more superior version of the Cheetor / Shadow Panther mold. It has a lot more better detail, especially that remolded chest, hips, and that crotch area. I love the retooling, and it's just so accurate looking to the show. The only thing I can really give crap about this figure is that alternate mode that they gave to Ravage, but again, they were just making stuff up. They didn't really care that much. They were just trying to make something up to give him to transform into. So I do appreciate them with the effort. It does add some unnecessary kibble on the back, but that doesn't mean the figure is not good. I still enjoy posing this guy around, and he still looks so cool, and he's based on one of my favorite characters from the show. Because I loved seeing that an original Decepticon character was in the show, and how it connects to G1 and yada yada yada. So I really did like him. So anyway, the figure portrays him very well, and if I had to give him a rating and this is a rating for the whole 2-pack, because you can't really give any dirt on the G1 Ravage. It's mostly for him. But the rating on this 2-pack, I give it a solid 9 out of 10. My only complaint is that I wish that the Ravage maybe was able to handle the kibble just a little bit better, because the legs do get out of the way, and there was a way that they could have retooled it, but I'm not going to hurt on this figure too much. It really is a 10 out of 10. I just am being completely honest. But anyway, that is basically it for this review. If you guys did enjoy the review, be sure to give me a like on the video. Be sure to comment down below, and be sure to subscribe for more Transformers-related reviews. And yeah, be sure to check out all my other toy reviews, and I'll catch you guys next time. Decepticons forever!